People a little moment to check in, because I know it's gonna take a little moment. Y'all already know. Happy now. Now is the vibrate. Not too far to, not too far to pass. Right now. Right now. Right now, got. And, a matter of fact, the paradox of this realm is so unique. Before I even go into this, in one place you'll hear, hey, astrology has some sauciness to it. Or, astrology has some information that could really help you. Then at the same time, you hear, hey, don't overly, lock yourself into astrology. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's something that was created within this hologram. You'll hear how, hey, just because you got melanin don't mean you're going that you connected, or that you're gonna have that you're gonna leave this reality, in that sense of it. And then in that same, they're like, hey, melanin helps for you to have a strong connection. Like this is a very paradoxical situation. Again, uh, you need to get scholarship and read books, this and that. But at the same time, you're a being that's all knowing, and I say all knowing, but for the most part, that could tap into any information inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So you hear that and again, so the paradox is, it sounds contradictory, but at the same time, it's just it's more so like, again, like a balance within everything. You know what I'm saying? You could hear that, oh, water is one of the most life-giving things, but could also kill you. You know what I'm saying? If you drink too much of it, or if you don't have, if you have just a little bit of it. Blessings, y'all. Haywood Davis. Peace. The Happy Hood Hippie. Blessings, meditation, elevation. What's up? What's up? Red Autumn Butterfly. You know, you have all these different little paradoxes. And again, and definitely with astrology, you know, uh, again, we don't want to lock ourselves down into it. And at the same time, you could use it as a useful tool. Again, whether you're doing rituals and things of this nature, because that all goes back to what, when we talk about the lesser key of Solomon and Solomon's temple. Solomon's temple representing the body, and the body, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's like the body is a physical representation of this little holographic universe we in. Because again, our true essence is the no thing. You know what I'm saying? The no thing has nothing to do with a zodiac sign, or you know any of these type of things. The no thing, again, that triple darkness at the top of the tree of life, or the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You know, the Ain Soft, and Ain Soft is basically a representation of that triple darkness, and it falling down, you know, to have a physical experience, and leaving some of that knowledge behind in order to have some ignorance, to have an experience. Because again, if we came down here knowing everything about everything, that would, take away our experience, and hence why a lot of people who are very, quote unquote psychic, may have, you know, that's one of the tough things to deal with being psychic, is knowing certain things, but still having to be in the moment about it. Like knowing that, say for instance, if you know it's gonna rain for 40 days and 40 nights, but you predict, like you looking way into like 10 years ahead, you know and then you still ask to live in this moment as if it's not gonna rain for 40 days and 40 nights. And not technically, again, you would be moving in your moment with that in consideration, but not being on the extreme about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not, because you had that premonition, you're not gonna, like in your now moment, sit in a boat with some boots on and a raincoat, just waiting, for 10 years for that 40 days and 40 nights of raining to come. Gotta be within your moment. You know. And again, I had a comparison about, like the middle passage. It's about being neutral. because again, that whole aspect of the archon energy eating off of our, you know, our extremes. Hence why again everything is built to bring us to extremes and be unbalanced emotionally. You know what I'm saying? It's about being balanced. And balance like driving a car. The only thing about driving a car, like the reason why you drive and get to where you're going, because you're staying on the road. If you drift too far to the right or too far to the left, you're drifting off the road, and you're not. Your car won't be going anywhere. You get into a wreck or something of that nature. So again, it's about that middle passage, going through the middle, in between the pillars. Shout out to Black Magic, Brother Rich and Kambada with that album, with the album cover, with the Holy Ghost too, where they got the two pillars and they got the little baby going in the middle. It's about that middle passage, not being overly masculine, not being overly feminine, but balancing those two out. Again, being over emotional about things becomes food for archons. So hence why it's about being lighthearted, like to not get caught up in that. Oh man, my daddy transitioned when I was only 3 and he should have been here. That's food. You know what I'm saying? Or oh man, the white man this or the European that or the oppressors this or the oppressors that or, or black people never get it or niggas ignorant and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not for us to get overly in our emotions about none of this. Again, middle passage, middle passage. What's up, everybody? Mama Awareness, Riley Rage, Accomplice and Freedom, Darlene. Because again, it's that childlike behavior, being lighthearted, and also being in the moment, being now. You know, because matter of fact, when you think about it, somebody brought that up. I think that was you, Riley Rage. Come to think about it, where you asked me about like if you could look at the past as the woman, in the future as the masculine aspect, and in some way, form, or fashion, yeah, it could have that little balance. And matter of fact, and again, you know, past being like the woman, because the woman is primordial. The feminine essence is primordial to the masculine aspect. So you could look at the woman as the past, the masculine as the future in that sense of it, and then the present, because what you get after the masculine and feminine come together, you get a present. You know what I'm saying? After that sexual energy, you get a present, aka a little seed. You know what I'm saying? Or a child, or a present again, or the present moment, or the now. You know what I'm saying? The now being in the middle. You know, that was also spoken. That was also the allegorical aspect of Christ being on the cross as well. Definitely middle passage. And right now, again, so I did all that, to go back to this astrological aspect, because again, it's one of those things where even if people, discredit it or feel like they don't believe it, because I do know that the subconscious, again, whatever you believe in, whatever your subconscious is programmed to deal with, that's what you're gonna be dealing with, you know. And then there is an aspect of, these things. Like a person may not feel like, oh man, I'm not affected by the new moon or the full moon, but still have some, may still have some influences, still affecting them, and just because they just choose not to pay attention to it. And I will say that much though, like when you just be in your now, automatically, like I realize in my growth, whenever I get into a place of just strengthening my intuition, clearing those voices inside, clearing those thoughts, you know, clearing my mind, strengthening my intuition by listening more and more to that voice and being in my moment, that everything lines up with what it should be lined up, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I won't even be paying attention to whether the moon is in a certain zodiac sign or not sometimes, and then I'll be working with a certain crystal, and then come to find out that crystal helps to deal with this full moon, being in such and such, or the new moon being in another place, like you'll line up with these things without even realizing in that sense. But Mercury retrograde again got Mercury in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio. Mercury retrograde, but it hasn't started to retrograde yet. It's gonna retrograde in October 31st up until November 20th, where it goes direct. Meaning it gets direct and it comes out of its retrograde. And again, it's not to be all like, oh, the retrograde, oh, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's having awareness, because all right, uh, again, to each his own. You could still feel like, all right, I could still work on some business and I could still do these certain type of things. Again, to each his own on where your subconscious is programmed in that sense of it. Uh, but for the most part, again, it's like the weather. I could say I'm subconscious. A perfect example. Oh man, I don't get wet. My like I've been training my subconscious all my life to feel like I could never get wet. But if I go out into the rain, you know, I'm gonna get wet. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much I plug that into, my subconscious mind. Now again, there is an asterisk by this, because if you really been working on your superpowers on that level, you know what I'm saying? Well, you go out into the rain, you could at least probably, not feel like, like the coldness from the rain or whatever. There's certain aspects of it, not taking a toll on you in that sense. But again, if you again, work on your subconscious as much as you want. And that goes back to the balance with everything. Again, like doing certain magic rituals and things around certain moments. And again, oh man, I don't believe in weather, this and that. I mean, it's a reason why a lot of us who got strong subconscious minds, but we're not necessarily looking to sit in the bath the ice every day on some, oh, I could do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason for that. Again, Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Be aware of like, deceit or secretive aspects coming up. Because one of the negative aspects of Mercury, so to speak, is deceit. Like deception. Because again, part of communication is being truthful. Matter of fact, and Mercury deals with that. Mercury deals with communication, strategy, writing, divination. Divination basically like with tarot cards and things of this nature. It deals with magic. It deals with messages. It deals with travel. It deals with commerce, and it deals with again, on a negative aspect, deceit. So being aware that with it being in Scorpio, Scorpio deals with being, that's that Pluto is Mars energy. You know what I'm saying? So things may, in the area of willpower or sexual energy, you may find some deceitful vibes in that area, and also dealing with deep transformation. Like, this is gonna have a vibration of allowing us to reflect on areas that we may still be lying to ourselves about what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. You know what I'm saying? And again, I've been dealing with this energy myself, hence why I've been kind of balanced and less quick on the trigger with doing videos. It's like dealing with my inner awareness, and also realizing a certain inner truth that I have to deal with, as far as you know uh, with some things. Of course, I know I have the inner gnosis to just catch the vibe and make a video about it, but it was some things where I look back at and I'm like, yeah, I could have reflected longer on that information. I went more in on that information before I spoke about it. But then again, that goes back to the balance and the paradox of things. Because here it is, what clear cognizance is. Clear cognizance is clear knowing. You know what I'm saying? So that means without reading a book, without having to listen to somebody else's video or any of these other things, you could get a clear knowing about certain things. And again, that comes back to that contradiction aspect, because here it is, you may have a clear knowing, but then you hearing on the flip side, like, again, on one hand, somebody speaking about, oh yeah, man, you got these powers and extrasensory perception and tap into, and at the same time read all these books. You know what I'm saying? And you like, well, what the fuck? And again, it's a balance, and that's why it goes back to strengthening your intuition, and again, clearing the mind, listening to that inner voice a little more, and strengthening, because as you listen to that inner voice, it's like lifting weights. You're working out that muscle, and being in the moment. You know, you align up with what's right for your moment. Like at some parts of your moment, it may be good for you to read a book. You know, and some of us may not even have to read the whole book, but just read parts of it. Again, because I thought I was tripping when I realized like I would get led to certain areas within books. Hence why I would just kind of like go into certain little libraries or Barnes and Nobles, because I wouldn't necessarily have to read up fully on certain things, because I already had like some, not say somewhat, a clear knowing about it, and the little information or the snippet or the couple chapters I had to look at in a book just helped grounded from a physical aspect, to kind of give a physical confirmation to it, in that sense of it. And matter of fact, much love to Bobby Hemmett, bringing that up in one of his videos about how he would, spirit would lead him to certain parts of a book, and he wouldn't necessarily have to read the whole book, in that sense of it, But again, you're just seeing, and all this is coming up again, just the parody of the existence within this reality, because again, here it is, we talk about having alkaline food, but then too much alkalinity could throw the body off balance, you know so of course we want to be, into and again, and as I'm saying this, you know collectively, you know, we created this reality a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying like, oh, you have to have your pH level. This, to each his own, or whatever you feel your alignment is within your lifetime and what you came to experience. You know, because at the end of the day, as long as you know that you're on the temporary experience, and you got this plugged into your subconscious, like for real, like I don't know, I think uh, I'm an infinite being. Like, no, you gotta know you're an infinite being. You gotta know that this realm is temporary, and that's the whole aspect of this as well. It's like having that knowing, you know, and there were certain areas again, like, and that's why you gotta be nimble like water, and be malleable like water to be able to flow and change up things, because there's certain aspects where I thought, you know, slipped into the realm that's part of like that, like my little energy of, like, oh, I got this little aspect, or, getting to some information and sitting and resting in that area, and it's like, nope, something else, some other information is here that you need to check out. It's not just this, you know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to say like, oh shit, all right, gotta learn some more, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't, you don't want to necessarily be stubborn, because again, it's a free will universe. You have enough of you have free will to the point of choosing bondage if you want to be bonded down, So again, you have that aspect, but again, right now, Mercury aspect dealing with the Scorpio, so again, like a Mercury retrograde, meaning the energy is slowed down, and when the energy is slowed down, again, we're going to be real reflective on, our communication aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like real reflective. And again, dealing with the Scorpio energy, it deals with being focused, being intense, being secretive, being forceful, being magnetic, and being determined. And also being sexual, and also tapping into the deeper aspects of things, and hence why I made the analogy like question, it's like a quest, ion is the last part of the name Scorpion, and no coincidence that Scorpion or Scorpion, is the constellation that deals with going deeper, know what I'm saying? Like getting deeper into aspects. And again, with it being connected to Pluto as well, is dealing with deep transformation. Uh, you know, deep transformation or transmutation, however you want to see it. But just that evolving and evolution aspect again, but on a deep level and going deep within. You know what I'm saying? Because again, uh, there's no brushing past any aspects of ourselves. We gotta transmute all the unhealthy aspects, all the human moralistic shit that we were taught that's plugged into our subconscious. We gotta go deep into ourselves to remove all those different little aspects. Moving forward. And again, also Venus in Scorpio, and Venus deals with love, beauty, attraction, fertility, harmony. Basically dealing with arts, relationship vibes, connections, and unity. So again, like what areas? Now, matter of fact, Venus and Scorpio also deals with like a energy of deep love. You know what I'm saying? What things that you deeply love. You may see this in reflection. Also, again, the aspect of relationships. Like what do you deeply, truly want in a relationship, whether it be a companionship or whether it be a relationship in the aspect of relationship in the aspect of business partner, whatever, but any type of relationship, like what's the deeper aspect of it, you know, and again pulling out these deep aspects for transformation, but again, there's something else that was coming up. I don't have my tarot cards with me right now, but definitely again, the main thing is awareness with deceitful or slash untruthful vibes coming up to the forefront right now. you know uh and again, like certain aspects where you can't run away from yourself, you got to bring these things up. you know Again, you're gonna be more intense and focused about your communication, and it'll be reflective in the sense of like, you may be too intense, again, may be too deeply intense about certain things, you know what I'm saying? And that'll come up to the forefront, whether you intense about, again, being attracted to somebody, being in a relationship with somebody, you know, too intense with the way you deal with certain aspects of the material realm, because in essence Venus deals with the Taurus energy, and that's connected. And more so, is the Taurus energy more so in particular because it's the Earth sign, but also Venus does have, again, it deals with the number 5. Venus orbit basically, moves in a five-pointed star, and more so in a curvy star formation, and not a straight line star. You know, has more of a feminine essence. But again, and I'm assuming get into the crystal repertoire aspect as well. Just bringing up. So again, right now, again, communication. Also going again, which is probably repetitious in that sense of it, but going deeper into the communication with your inner guidance. You know, so say for instance, like again, healing certain aspects of our inner family, quote unquote, which deals with chakra work and subconscious work. You know, the root chakra carries and holds basically the energies of our first 7 years of development. You know what I'm saying? So want to be aware to have that inner dialogue. And certain aspects again of like what we've been lying to ourselves or others are going to be coming up in reflection, but it's going to come up very slowly. That's going to allow for you to be able to deal with it Because again, Mercury is in retrograde, is moving slower, or it seems like it's even stopping. And again, Mercury is in retrograde from October 31st to November 20th. You know, so yeah. Matter of fact, what's up, y'all? So again, that's basically those energies just gonna be coming up. Again, I got a video on my Patreon that goes into a chakra exercise for pulling up, emotional traumas and certain blockages, in order to heal. Also about pulling roots. You could check that out. Matter of fact, with my Patreon, I got the first tier at $3 a month. Nothing too expensive. Which I'm gonna create high tier soon. I'm gonna do a higher tier as well, where I'm gonna be able to, like, I'm gonna send out jewelry every month. You know, I'm lining that up, but that'll probably be like a $20 tier where it'll have, like, again, but it's like a gift package that you receive every month. You know, and look, I even caught the vibe with with me even right now. You know what I'm saying, with communication and dealing with commerce and stuff like that, and being aware to not be speaking too soon on certain things, because that's something that may be coming up as well. Like, if you're a type of person to talk about things instead of doing it, you know that aspect is gonna come up for sure. As a matter of fact, crystal repertoire, a few little crystals I'm working with right now, which I'm gonna mostly speak on some of the newer ones that I'm working with, and a few oldies, a few that I have been working with. Like right now, rhodonite, great for healing wounds and healing over trauma. You know what I'm saying? Because again, just like when we talk about pulling roots, doing root work as far as pulling out certain roots, not just cutting cards, but that card has a root that's lodged in one of your chakras, lodged in one of the nadis or meridians within your energy field that you have to jerk out. And think about, like, when you might jerk something, or pull something off of you in that sense of it, that'll cause like a scab or something that needs to be healed. And rhodonite, in essence, is kind of like that scab in essence, but it helps for healing trauma, especially with communication. Matter of fact, rhodonite great for being more healed in your communication, or being more, like, if you and a person always been seeing at odds. Working with rhodonite is a great crystal to work with. So when you converse, you're not trying to create turmoil. You're conversing in a manner that allows for things to come up to the forefront, and you both not acting like children about it. And I say like children, more so acting like adults in that sense of it. But like being stubborn about whatever, because again, we could get stubborn about our views, and like, I was right about this, and there's no such thing as right or wrong, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And hence why arguments are getting in the back and forth is basically pointless, because again, I could tell a person, worshiping Jesus is wrong, but that, again, I would be taking a side. And matter of fact, that's, instead of being in the middle about things, I would be trying to take a side. Now I can speak on the truth about, like, hey, you don't want to worship nothing outside of you, but that's not for me to tell a person that they are wrong for doing that. There's a difference, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference in speaking on the fact of, like, hey, you don't want to externalize any energies, uh, you know, there's 16 crucified saviors that existed before quote unquote Jesus. So it's really about the Christ energy. And you got the Nicene Council that happened. You know, I could speak on that truth, but then even with that, because you know, when I talk to people and I bring this up, I'm like, but you know, you don't have to believe me or listen to me, or you know, it's up to you on whether they resonate with you or not, you know what I'm saying? But these are the facts of what happened, you know what I'm saying? Hence why it's great for us to, you know, learn about certain aspects of history, you know, so we don't repeat the same bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So again, that Rhodonite, just a healing energy, and also dealing with the heart chakra, so it's gonna have like that loving, caring vibe to it, somewhat like rose quartz, you know, gonna amplify the empathetic vibe, you know, understanding somebody else's, you know, plight or energy field, things of this nature. And again, this is not for us to be worried about people, you know, worried about people in that sense of it. You know, it's all right for us to have compassion. It's just not, again, not being in the extreme or over emotional about that compassion. Because then again, your heart gonna weigh heavy, and then when you transition, you won't be able to leave out of this realm, because your heart energy is too heavy, and our heart energy deals with a magnetic field, you know what I'm saying? And when you transition, it's gonna be too heavy. Or matter of fact, or basically giving off the magnetism of being of mimicking this realm, because it's tied to some stuff within this realm. So when you go to, you know, to shoot out of this place, you know what I'm saying, you won't be allowed to, because your energy is going to be too tied to this realm, in this temporary quote unquote reality, this temporary uh, hologram dream world, you know? And again, as I say that, and which I got another video I'm gonna drop soon, talking about also the aspect of, when we say the matrix, we also speaking to, again, whether you want to say the matrix or you want to say we're in a being, you know, because again, that story is a whole nother thing, and I ain't gonna get into that because I got a video for it. But rhodonite, you know, definitely something I'm working with right now. These new crystals, which I haven't done much research on, but I could feel a unique aspect, like of like having a new outlook. You barely could see. It almost looked like Kambaba jasper when you look at it good, but this is nebula stone. And nebula stone has like 4 different types of minerals in it. You know, quartz being one, and hence why it's important too. You know, or why you can program a lot of your crystals, because a lot of crystals are microcrystalline quartz, or quartz itself. You know what I'm saying? And quartz is a programmable energy. You know, so if I say, hey quartz, I want to amplify the balance within my being. I want to amplify the balance between the masculine and feminine. I want to amplify the energy of my intuition coming to me with a tremendously high level of clarity. You know, hey quartz, uh, I want you to, you know, like whatever the case may be, amplify that vibration of inner abundance within me. You know, but there's all these different aspects. But this nebula stone helps to gain new insight and new ways of looking at things, you know what I'm saying? Because again, a lot of times we go through lesson loops is because we're still looking at things the same way, and we haven't changed up, you know, the way we, you know, view things. You know, we still doing things and viewing things the same, and what really changes what happens in our realm is rearranging what's going on in our subconscious, you know. So this nebula stone is great for that as well. Also has like a nice type of little grounding energy to it as well. I do feel like it has a connection to the Devic Kingdom, you know, because matter of fact, again, I don't know what's the name of that, Ayagrine or Ayagreen, I forgot the name of it, but it's in connection with jade, and jade is you know, green jade, you know, whether it's nephrite or jadeite, helps to connect with the Devic Kingdom as well. You know, the Devic Kingdom meaning the, you know, the elemental kingdoms, the fairies, the gnomes, the, you know, the trees, the plant, you know what I'm saying? Because again, yes, this is a holographic realm. Yes, it's temporary, and yes, you know, the trees are a hologram, the grass is a hologram, like nature is a hologram as well. It's just while in this hologram, you could tap into the organic aspects. Like certain things within this hologram represents the organic aspect. You know what I'm saying of being. You know what I'm saying? Like the true technology before somebody created artificial technology. And when I say somebody, that somebody was us because we created this realm in the first place to allow all these things to be happening right now. Matter of fact, like it may be a new outlook on that. Like, oh, like I always looked at, uh, the oppressors are artificial intelligence or parasitic energies is something to be against. Realizing like, well, no, it's not to be against it. Now, of course, you're not for again. You're not against it or for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're in a neutral spot and you understand like shit. This all is a temporary experience. That I created. And not to get too extreme on any aspect. But Nebula Stone, definitely great little stone working with. Uh, Tiffany Stone. Tiffany Stone is great for psychic abilities, boosting psychic abilities on all levels. All of the clairvoyance, uh, the clear hearing things that may not be physically around you. Clear tasting things that you may not be eating. Clear smell, and I know it got a different word for it, but but the clear smelling, like smelling things that may not be around you. Again, clairvoyance in that sense technically is like clear seeing, uh, and then clear cognizance. Again, like what I say, you got the downloads that just come to you, and you just have this inner knowing about things. But Tiffany Stone is great with that. It has beryllium in it, and it's a very rare crystal, and it normally have like a little purplish color in it, and it has beryllium in it. Beryllium is where you get all your beryls from. Beryls like a marganite, aquamarine, emerald. I want to say Heliodor. What else is a beryl? They all not coming up to me, but all barrels basically are the element barrel, but basically all barrels are beryllium. Beryllium is the element, but all barrels have the atomic structure in it is in the shape of the seed of life, which the seed of life is just a smaller aspect of the flower of life. But all barrels' atomic structure is shaped like not like the Merkaba aspect, but the little circles around it. Which again, this small seed of life goes into the flower of life. And you see how the sacred geometry all tells that story. But this is great, like great. Oh, and also great for working with the sexual energy as well. I would say if you're trying to like uncover some things in your sacral chakra, as far as like insight on like what blockages you have, you know, uh, you know, this Tiffany stone in combination with carnelian or orange kyanite would be great. But more so, carnelian comes to mind. And also fire agate, which in essence is like carnelian, but you have some carnelian that's more milky, than fire agate. You know, fire agate has a strong aspect of iron, limonite in it. But Tiffany stone, great for amplifying those psychic abilities, on all levels. You know, and just your clear seeing in general. That's something I'm working with right now. Apophyllite. Matter of fact, apophyllite. Oh, and I don't even have it out here with me, or maybe I do. I'm talking too fast. Uh, Man, apophyllite with tektite. Like when I got this tektite, oh my goodness, like I be visualizing in a conversation talking to somebody, and not no sense of like, daydreaming, not being grounded in that sense of it. But like, man, your inner eye just be on like blah blah. Matter of fact, like right now, it's very important for us to get more familiar with our astral body. Again, still being grounded, because again, we are on a human experience. We chose to come down here in these human, whether we chose, whether we got tricked, however people want to use the terminologies for the shit. We are in these little fucking physical bodysuits playing out a certain reality. It is what it is. You know, and again, just like I made a video about taking care of your vehicle, you know what I'm saying? Like, and which that's to each his own too, you know what I'm saying? Some people coming down to this reality where they could do their work without having to have the cleanest vehicle, you know what I'm saying? Like, your vehicle gotta be as clean as you need it to be for your sole purpose. Like, point blank, period. Everybody could say, oh, eat this, eat that. What aligns for you and your inner energy. Matter of fact, speaking of that, apophyllite helps for clear insight uh, on, like, your inner guidance and what's going on for you. But apophyllite also is good for like scrying, and you could kind of look into it and get little clear insights about certain aspects within your reality. It could be certain things that you need to fix on, so to speak, certain energies that you may need to transmute and work on in that essence. But definitely great for like astral projection and astral travel in general. And I did a video on that where astral projection is when you project your astral body, like almost like remote viewing, you know what I'm saying? Like where I could go from here to viewing myself in another city, you know, like almost like an instant transmission, that's because it's a projection, you know. And then you got astral travel where you're moving around with your astral body, where you're visibly seeing your silver card, you know, attached to your astral body, and your astral body is moving, and every step of the way you're aware of it, compared to like a remote viewing astral projection type of vibe where you kind of putting yourself, somewhere else, like a projection, you know. But yeah, great for again amplifying that inner seeing, but amplifying. Matter of fact, good for the crown chakra. It creates a strong connection with the crown and the first eye chakra as well. Uh, and it has a lot of water in it, so in essence, it is technically programmable in that sense of it. You know, it's mostly potassium. It's not much silica in it. It's more of a I want to say potassium. It's more so apophyllite, but again, great crystal for like having that vision and seeing for the astral travels. You know, matter of fact, I'm working with carnelian, and that's another thing. Carnelian, again, great for the sacral chakra. You know, which in essence, deals with the emotions, the sexual energy. It also deals with our aspect of friendliness. You know what I'm saying, and how we deal with people on a social level in that sense as well. You know, but also great because you're you have to get Frank Rudolph's other book, Asteria. I forgot the name of it, but Brother Panic had a video recently, not too long ago, where he spoke on this. And if you're not familiar with Brother Panic's channel, it's called Occult Lectures, where and when you talk about like his specialty is definitely going deep into the aspects of realizing again how much of a god you are, how much of a creator you are, and more so again releasing that human moralistic bullshit, from out of your reality, So if you want to check that out. But again, from that book, it was speaking on what you call your mind's navel. That's 1 inch above your navel, and that's like that's connected to the silver cord that goes into your astral body, and how 1 inch away there's like a valve, like so, like picture this your navel, and 1 inch above it, and above it, like as far like if you're laying down on your back, you know what I'm saying? So if you're standing up, it would be 1 inch outwardly, but and there's a valve right there that you could visualize being open and allowing the information to move to and fro your app, to and fro. I sound like a English teacher. To and fro, moving to and fro, Shakespeare. But moving to and from your astral body and your body, But yeah, apophyllite. And I did a video not too long ago on like if you type in universal frequencies and just sacral, SACRAL, you'll get that video where I talk about the sacral chakra and like certain vamping aspects that's targeting your sacral chakra. Because not only that throws that throws a lot of things off in that sense of it, but also it also throws off that connection with your astral body as well in that sense. But again, I spoke on Tektite, and Tektite is one of the 12 synergy stones, Tibetan Tektite to be exact. And Tektite has many different vibes of what they're trying to realize. What's the fake versions, or how was it really created? From a meteorite crash, or if it's this or that. But for the most part, just feel the energy out. We're dealing with any crystal. Like, what do you feel when you put it in your hand? And for those of y'all new to my channel, I got a crystal vibrations playlist, and I got more than one, but I know I got a 2-hour video for sure where I'm going in depth about different aspects of crystals and how to work with them and deal with them. Also got a video about like how to go about buying or like dealing with the crystals to get them from a store, things of this nature. But yeah, Tektite good for almost like the Nebula Stone, getting new insight, but also like with that insight, you're seeing where like certain problems come from. Like, so basically, this would be great for working with the subconscious realm. Matter of fact, along with Numite is great for working with the subconscious and going deeper into your subconscious. Hence why it's also a magical stone. And both of them, picture that both of them amplify synchronicity, because your synchronicity is amplified when you're removing all these subconscious programmings and subconscious blockages. That's again, somebody just named it magic, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it is what it is. It ain't even necessarily magic. That's just our true essence of our being. That's another thing, to normalize these things. Synchronicity, like, and quote unquote manifestation, which in so many words is just you lining up with certain things within this reality. you know that's a normal thing, and you want to treat it like a normal thing, because the moment you keep treating it like, oh man, it's so big, oh that's so amazing, synchronicity, you're going to continue to subconsciously tell yourself like this is something big and unachievable, or hard to achieve, and subtly your subconscious is going to feel like, oh man, it's hard to achieve synchronicity and to manifest things and to see these things happen, when again, this is your normal state of being, is always being synchronistic, you know what I'm saying, and having these situations. Because again, I'm dealing with an aspect within myself of clearing myself with the way I've been eating in certain little ways of like having to step up to the plate with that aspect. Because there's a balance with eating, where you could still balance yourself with eating, but not necessarily having to eat like, again, like overly sugary foods and stuff like that. And again, to each his own on your situation. I'm just speaking in my realm of reality. You know, I kind of start tapping into like, like super unhealthy foods a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it was again creating certain little blockages for myself, and it was stemming from certain blockages, because a lot of your eating aspect, again, we talk about. Hence why again things is attacked on your sacral chakra, because again your sacral, and also like again sexual energy is how we manifest things. You know what I'm saying? Like manifestation, quote unquote, is sexual energy. You know what I'm saying? Again, like what comes after sex, like another little being. You know what I'm saying? A soul within another little bodysuit. That whether that soul got tricked into coming here or chose to come here for this experience, but nonetheless, another little soul that's coming, or an old soul in that sense, that's coming to have an experience. And with that being said, to each his own, because some aspects within this realm may not have like a soul, and that's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's not to be like, oh, these people over here, or those, again, yeah, everything is a creation of the primordial mother and the primordial source in that sense of it. But again, certain aspects within this realm don't have a soul, hence why they speak so much or try to make it a joking situation, like, oh yeah, I sold my soul, for this, or I sold my soul for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a real thing. Some people sell out the aspect of leaving this realm to be a puppet within this temporary realm. They rather be a puppet, and they have more value into material things that are temporary than the infinite aspect of their being. For those who may have had a soul and sold it, or again, in certain beings within this realm could grow into a place of having a connection, like a soulful connection. Hence why certain beings that may be considered disconnected are working towards connecting more, what I'm saying, and having certain insights, what I'm saying. So, because that's a whole nother thing. Matter of fact, the amberite. The amberite is another 12 synergy stone. And matter of fact, working with the heart chakra, very high vibrational crystal. Matter of fact, and high vibrational crystals help to break down black magic in general, and black magic, just psychic vampirism, and just a certain magic that's how can I say, that's harmful towards your subconscious, because for the most part is you doing it to yourself in that sense of it, what I'm saying, or where you didn't allow some type of harmful energy or entity in, what I'm saying, whether it's a lack of protection when you're astral projecting, you know uh letting the parasitic energies overcome your guidance, like, basically leapfrog your inner guidance to where the parasites are kind of running, the show in that sense of it. But again, the high vibrational crystals helps to, because again, when you vibrating at a high frequency, you know, it makes it harder for those energies to are basically impossible the higher you vibrate. And with that being said, somebody may ask, well, hey, if it's about balance, isn't high vibration being an extreme? Well, check this out. Technically, when I say vibrating higher, you're just vibrating at a higher frequency. You know what I'm saying? Just meaning, your vibration, the wavelengths within your vibration is less gaps, instead of like a slow vibration, like with a waves or like this. So as you raise your vibration, you know, uh, the root chakra still is gonna vibrate. So again, it's still a balance. The root chakra still vibrates slower than your crown chakra, but as a whole, your whole being to be vibrating at a higher frequency rate in general. But again, this Danbarite is great for working with the heart chakra, higher heart, and also with the crown. Uh, Grateful for channeling energies, for channeling higher, higher aspects of yourself. Also just healing inner heart chakra trauma in general. And again, you don't just get a crystal and be like, oh, all my trauma is healed because I got this crystal. Like, no, there are tools. They're gonna help you to, again, it's gonna be easier. So instead of screwing something with your hand, you got a screwdriver. This is like a screwdriver. You know what I'm saying? It makes it easier to, to cleanse these energies, or to really see with clarity, like, oh shit, this is coming from when I was 5 years old and my mama slapped me in the face, and ever since then I thought all women wasn't shit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, just for example, you know what I'm saying. Like, but these are the types of things that happen on a subconscious level when we go through certain traumas, growing up. And again, if you're gonna try to act like, oh man, when I got slapped up when I was a kid, or when I got molested when I was a kid, or when I got punished for having a B on my report card instead of all A's, you could act like these things, haven't create trauma that you're still dealing with. But again, all aspects of our early development plays a part in our subconscious realm and in our chakras as well, what I'm saying, moving forward. Again, if you're a patron on my Patreon page, and I got the Patreon link, it's not under this video, but it's The link is underneath mostly all my videos. But you could go check out the Patreon video I did, because that's when I'm moving to having more videos where it's like, and what you got a lot of free game. I done already done it, not that particular exercise, but like I done spoke on exercises on my YouTube channel, but I'm feeling the vibe of like more of like the walkthroughs of how to actually do the work and stuff like that is gonna be on my Patreon page as well, and just more in-depth information, and also other aspects again like having the tier where every month you'll get a jewelry package or some type of crystal package from that energy as well. Amberite, again, definitely a good one. Blue calcite, great for astral travel, great for amplifying that energy. It's gonna be good for creativity as well. Good for the throat chakra, of course. Blue, being good for the throat chakra, good for expression. And there's always again a connection with the throat chakra and the solar plexus. But very great for coming up with creative and new ideas. Like if you finding yourself having like a block, and it don't have to be writer's block, but just blockage in creativity in general. You know, uh, this blue calcite definitely be great for that energy. And again, very great. Matter of fact, damn, you want to talk about a nice little monstrous combination for astral travel. Blue calcite, tektite, and apophyllite. Matter of fact, so there's like a crystal combos video within the crystal repertoire video, but a strong combination for you know promoting that vision with the astral travel. You know, uh, I ain't gonna go too in depth with the explanation for these, because matter of fact, some of these I already got videos about. So again, this is more so sharing what I'm working with right now. Because matter of fact, again, we're going through the Scorpio energy, the sexual, the Shiva Lingam, you know, dealing with the Yoni energy and the phallus energy. So, again, the balance of the yin and yang, masculine and feminine energies. Don't forget downloads about sexual energy in general, certain tantra aspects, but just the overall aspect of how sex is involved in almost every aspect of our being, within this realm of reality. Definitely the Shiva Lingam, something I'm working with right now. Also garnet, garnet, just great for. It's almost like a ruby in the sense of like it almost ties the heart chakra with the root chakra. So it's gonna create vitality, create a certain level of grounding, create a certain level of practicality, and not limiting, because sometimes we could be practical to a point of limiting ourselves, but it creates a certain level of practicality in essence, though, with following our passions. So connected with following our heart, not just being practical in general, again, from the aspect of what we're truly passionate about. Hence why, it's a crystal for the Capricorn energy, Again, not to lock ourselves into these zodiac signs, uh, but our natal charts and things of this nature does, speak to what we signed up for within this realm of reality within this lifetime. Again, whether we got tricked into it or asked for it, whatever. And check out my video, the 12 movie specialists, where I speak on analogy again, because this is a persona in a movie, like universal frequencies. It's like Beetlejuice, and hence why the Papa Legba aspect is always like the top hat person, or again, or like a Beetlejuice aspect, the walker in between the realms. It's like the host of the show. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That aspect. As a matter of fact, and garnet gets its name from pomegranate, the actual fruit, and that's also connected with going into the underworld, or aka going into the lower chakras. When you talk about Greek mythology with Persephone and what it is, Hades, but Persephone in the underworld for a certain amount of time, and her mom Demeter or Demeter went down there with the help of Hecate, which Hecate is like the triple moon goddess, and dealing with the magic. And the triple moon goddess is also, in essence, the representation of the triple darkness, our primordial mother energy as well. And that goes back to, again, the deep darkness of the subconscious mind realm. And hence why the magic is tied to, tapping into that energy. And hence why Black Obsidian, y'all already know I got about, I don't know how many times I done talk about Black Obsidian. That's the one right there. You want to bring up some trauma that needs to be worked on, Black Obsidian is the one. But I done spoke on working with leopard skin jasper, but I done spoke on that as well. Great for balancing out your aspect of understanding, like your higher aspect and your lower aspect. So understanding the importance of, doing the chakra work for the higher chakras, but also being grounded and connected with the lower chakras as well. And it also helps for connection with the shamanic resonance of this realm. Because again, while we in this realm, we plan out certain aspects. You know what I'm saying? And in order to do that, you know, because again, the whole aspect about not coming back to this realm is doing all the things that you want to do. And I say you want, but that you're lined up to do within your soul purpose, that you came down here to take care of. And some of these things, again, or a lot of these things is doing some type of physical aspect of things, you know what I'm saying? So it helps for you to remain balanced with that aspect. And that's leopard skin jasper. Matter of fact, the dream, like speaking of, like, the higher aspect of the dream realm, this is a dense version of the dream realm. And hence why a lot of my videos, you hear certain artists in the background. Matter of fact, me and the queen, matter of fact, Miss Tatiana, Love Language. She's also on YouTube and Instagram. Love Language on IG is LUV.language, LANGUAGE. Check out her site. She does Reiki work, certified Reiki practitioner, and she does tarot readings, distance distance Reiki healing, and all that good stuff. But we talked about like how a train. When we hear train, that means like a lot of things are moving. Like a lot of things moving within our reality. Because again, this realm is just a dense version of a dream realm, and although a hologram, just like within your dream, like which is more of a stronger connection to our true essence, but not necessarily an end all be all either. Because when we talk about being in the astral planes or being from the astral planes or the astral realms, that's just a higher aspect of our being that's more connected to the truer aspect of us. But I mean, the straight drop aspect of us, or the real raw aspect of us, is that primordial darkness energy, that triple darkness, that no thing. Because by being the no thing, you have the ability to potentially be all kinds of things, you know what I'm saying? By, again, like the food card, the food, or like the Forrest Gump magic, like Forrest Gump, or the food card, like by never holding on to certain information and always being like in a learning process, you constantly are allowed to be many different things. And when you look at Forrest Gump was the owner of Apple Company, had his own business called Bubblegum Shrimp. He met Elvis. He met, I don't know how many presidents, got like a Purple Heart in the War of Vietnam, fucking was a ping pong champion, was an All-American for Bear Bryant. Like the list goes on, you know what I'm saying? But that's in connection with that. That's a deeper occult aspect. And petalite. Petalite is also another 12 synergy stone. Petalite has a high level of lithium in it. Lithium, matter of fact, like muscovite. Matter of fact, this is fuchsite. Fuchsite has a little bit of lithium in it, but it's creating a calming aspect. Like lithium is great for calming the nerves, and I want to say it's also dealing with something with the hemispheres of the brain, but I want to say, yeah, it should be balancing out the hemispheres of the brain as well. But petalite good for like totem. So in fact, both of these in combination, I recently talked about, but connecting with your totem animal, you know what I'm saying, like the animal aspect of your inner guidance. Working with petalite and leopard skin jasper would be great for that. And Again, pedalite, also again connecting with the higher aspect of yourself. Some people say the angels, or but I don't want to get too lost in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Or speak on it from that perspective, because again, it's all your inner guidance. It's all you. It's just different aspects of yourself. You know, again, like when we're dealing with a certain uh, deity, you know what I'm saying? Like again, like the different Yoruba deities, things of this nature is all truly aspects of you. Because if you are a primordial being, you existed before words existed. You existed before any of these quote unquote deities got created from our more human perspective. Because again, these orishas and things of this nature didn't necessarily exist like when we talk about like the Lemurian and Atlantis aspect. As a matter of fact, Cosmic Memory by Rudolf Steiner is a great book for connecting with the aspect of our Atlantis connection, like information on that. But again, all these different energies and entities didn't come about as far as working with them in that sense till like we got to Kemet, where we was kind of realizing we're in a fallen state. So it's the best way for us to kind of work with these energies again, and the storylines help for the conscious mind, to connect with the storyline and doing the altar work or altering your conscious. Hence why candles go on your altar, because a candle puts your or should I say the flame from a candle puts your brain in the alpha state. And your alpha, when your brain waves is in the alpha state, your subconscious is easily programmed. As a matter of fact, be aware of what you're looking at or dealing with after you're looking at a flame. You don't want to have a candle or flame around you and then be watching Love and Hip Hop. To each his own. You know what I'm saying? But let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Again, we trying to pull ourselves from out of this reality. And go back. Go back home into our true essence. Yeah, Petalite, another one. Black Kyanite, I got a video on that as well. Very great for grounding energy. And again, when we say protective energy, it's just more so that you're so grounded in your being, your root chakra is so, spinning so healthily and so balanced that you're not allowing, certain things within the let's put it like this. There's certain energies that's going on within your internal realm that's not that's manifesting externally, and in the sense of it, by you being secure and grounded and balanced, then your external realm is going to reflect that same energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's more so one of those vibes. But definitely, again, along with aragonite, great for working with the earth star chakra, which is under your feet. But like having a strong connection and your sole purpose of what you're down here to do on your human experience. Because again, a lot of us could get too flighty and like, oh, I just want to float away right now, and then you're gonna be floating around, not taking care of what you signed up to take care of, and you be wanting to come back here. So we wanna not do that. And other than that, that's it. I got my fuchsite, working with that. Fuchsite basically almost like green aventurine in essence, but it's more so like fuchsite is like the green little flecks or speckled parts within green aventurine. Green aventurine is more so like a quartz with fuchsite in it, But this is also great for tapping into the dreams as well. Matter of fact, and if I didn't say that, apophyllite and the Tibetan tektite, and also the blue calcite connecting with the dreams as well. Dream recall, but this definitely the fuchsite good for that. Good for connecting with the Devic Kingdom, connecting with the fairy realms and all that. Great for the heart chakra, having that vibe of compassion or empathy and understanding for all aspects of being. Not for us to get, again, over emotional or extremely compassionate to the point where our heart weighing heavier than a feather, but definitely having that understanding. Because again, this is a creation, what I'm saying? And whether, we feel like it's a fucked up creation or whatever, again, it's about being balanced about it, but uh, it's a creation nonetheless that we created, this whole realm. So, having a level of compassion and understanding, but not to the level where you're loving this realm so much to where you're coming back to it. balance. That's basically it. I got my pyrite. That's basically sulfur and iron together, so it creates a dynamic energy. You know what I'm saying? Being grounded. Matter of fact, like hematite. Hematite is basically mostly iron. Matter of fact, both of these in combination, great for concentration, great for being focused. Some of us could start a task and then be way over here the next few seconds. Like this will help for you to ground in your task. Great for boosting creativity and confidence, self-esteem. Uh, what else? That's basically it. And again, good for concentration, focus. Good for blood work. Great for producing more. Uh, for oxidizing. Good for the iron producing more red blood cells. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hematite great for whenever the queens is dealing with their cycle. Hematite is great for that. And also black onyx. Black onyx great for balancing the hemispheres of your like making your logic, basically your intellect and your intuition get along together. Onyx very great at that. Very great for being more practical. Very great for releasing certain aspects that no longer serve you. You know, but yeah, that's what we're working with right now. And also, again, as I say, working with this is a part of like you know what's in my whole collection right now. You know what I'm saying? What I'm really working with newly is my nebula. So right now I'm on my nebula stone, my onyx, my hematite, my rhodonite because I'm getting over some little traumas and stuff. The damberite, something I'm working with. It's tektite. That's basically it right now. And now it's prayer night with epidote inclusions in it as well. And I got a video I did on epidote, so go check that out. But that's basically it. Agarine, who up West Combs? Yeah, that's the that aspect of the nebula stone. That's what's in the nebula stone. Yep, that little name right there. Yeah, but that's basically it. I got a video on where I spoke on how bloodstone helped for me to detoxify. But bloodstone basically uh it's great for that Virgo energy, for being grounded, but also again like the heart chakra, almost like a garnet, but somewhat different. It's great for the connection with the heart chakra and the root chakra. So you're gonna have like a certain compassion and caring about certain things, but you're also gonna be grounded and focused about the way you're taking care of things. Hence, the Virgo energy is about like helping others, but also being diligent and also analytical about the way you're doing things. Hence why I was working with bloodstone jewelry not too long ago in connection with that in connection with the Virgo energies that we was going through. Also, remember, again, upon your free will, just for the algorithms for my videos to not get blackballed. You know, if you're liking the information, always hit the like button on any videos that you watch. If you're vibing with it, hit the little bell notification if you want to receive a notification of every time I do lives or post a video up. Also, again, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And any and all donations is greatly appreciated. I got my donation link underneath all of my videos, and there's more than one. Got Cash App, got PayPal, got Venmo, and also now I have a Patreon page for you to connect with too. So if you want to connect with the Patreon page, what's going to have more exclusive aspects. Cause just now I dropped the Cyclomancy. I did a video going through certain aspects within the Cyclomancy book. But again, Now, some of y'all already luckily have received the PDF when I was kind of just giving it out. But as before, I knew I was going to get a Patreon. And now it's like, all right, you know, building that aspect of, you got to give some type of exclusiveness to what you're doing with the Patreon. So, we're doing that video. I'm also giving out that book on PDF file format as well. But you have to be a patron on my Patreon page. Because again, there's enough of free game I got here on YouTube, for you to check out. But at the same time, again, it's also about making sure you're getting compensated for the energy you put out. Because it takes energy to do a bunch of hour-long videos, a bunch of 3-hour-long videos. And at the same time, though, hence is back to doing what you love, because you love something whenever you could do it. And again, like, nobody had to hand me no, like, here's some money, now you can start talking. Like, no, like, I do this without, what I'm saying, before I was ever getting money from YouTube. And that's how you know what aspects are a part of your sole purpose. Whatever abilities are just comes easy to you, quote unquote innate, but to use a regular terminology, just whatever comes easy to you. And more so, like, other people feel like, bro, it's amazing how you do this or you do that, and you just feel like, oh shit, I always could do that. I'm just, it's just a normal way for me. You know what I'm saying? That's pointing to what your sole purpose is, and whatever you could do for hours and hours. Like, say for instance, like, I've been wanting to fix me a little snack, but you know I'm loving what I'm doing, and doing what I love. So I'm right here talking. But that's basically it. Again, the energy, and also the energies we're dealing with. Again, Mercury retrograde from October 31st to November 20th. And again, like what I say with the paradoxical information, this is very key too. Like, whenever you learning from certain aspects, remember not to take sound bites from people. Like, if you only watch, and I know it may, again, I ain't telling nobody to sit down and watch all 1,000 of my videos, but before you could, and hence why I had to realize, like, all right, speak on this to some extent, but don't feel guilty about it, because that's the ignorance of a person to want to watch maybe one video of what I've done and then just take that and feel like, oh, this is how Universal is he's like this. So not more so about me, but more so like the information, like, oh, well, I just heard this in this video, so this is what it is. Like, no, I got multiple different aspects of breaking down, because again, this is a paradoxical situation we dealing with on this earthly plane. So again, you might hear me say, hey, it's about eating certain foods and certain things of that nature, and then on the back end be like, hey, you're a magical being. You could fucking drink battery acid. I'm not telling y'all to drink battery acid. I'm telling you, but if you tapped in on if you tapped in your subconscious realm to a higher level, you could do anything within this realm. It just depends on how much you tapped into your subconscious magic, so to speak, or just your subconscious mind. You know, but you'll hear me say that, and then hear me say another thing. You'll hear me say, hey, it's not about, it's about, like, say for instance, like the whole Christ aspect. Like, the Christ is the number 13, and the 12 apostles are the 12 disciples, are the 12 disciplines, or 12 disciplines that in essence is not meant for us to be locked down. And yeah, we coming through this experience and dealing with them, but eventually getting to the place of that Christ energy where we are just uniquely walking in our unique soul spark. But again, you'll hear me say this and then be like, hey, like right now, hey, there's a Mercury retrograde and there's a full moon in this, you know, and again, just like it's just the balance of this place, and to realize that, hence why I jokingly made that video about reasons why you wouldn't want to open your pineal gland, or reason why psychedelics could be you know uh, something that you may not want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because once you open up to all of this information, you realize, like, how much of a paradoxical balance it is, and some of us, can't handle that. How they say that heavy is the head that wear the crown, or to those who are in a certain position is more responsibility and accountability. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that comes with. You know, it's to be able to balance, and hence again, going back to that aspect of, you can't. I mean, you can if you want to, but go and watch somebody video and then feeling like, all right, I watched 5 minutes of this video or 20 minutes of video. That's the gist of this information. Like, nah, now if your inner guidance is telling you that, and you feeling like, all right, this is what your inner guidance is letting you know, and you tapped into your inner guidance, then hey, it's whatever, what I'm saying. But just having that understanding again, because you're accountable for yourself. It's not, I don't have to babyfy all of my information. Of course, again, as somebody that expresses these things, I'm going to express it in a way that doesn't confuse you, of course, you know what I'm saying? To the best of my ability, not making it sound or come off as confusing. But again, it's up to you to have the accountability to do your due diligence on your end, with your inner guidance or with your book research or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? So, definitely, that aspect. Moonstone is great for yep, for the females during the menstrual, and also just dealing with that aspect. Copper, so any of the copper crystals like malachite, chrysocolla, turquoise, some I'm missing. Turquoise, chrysocolla, malachite, diop. I want to say diopside or dioptase. I can't remember which one. Shatukite, uh, Eliite stone, Eliat, which is a mixture of all the ones I just named in essence. But those crystals, as a matter of fact, it's time for me some malachite again. That's something, bro. That malachite, bro. I love some malachite. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it, West Combs. Look, voicing my appreciation. Now, look, I can't take that compliment personal. I just have to already align with my inner guidance to know that, hey, I know that what I put out on my Patreon page is good. And this is, again, a lesson for all of us, to not take uh, compliments or insults personal. It doesn't mean when somebody gives you a compliment, you're like, oh, well, fuck that shit, you know what I'm saying? Or you could be like, oh, yeah, appreciate it, much love, like, man, I appreciate, bro, you did that video, this and that. Yeah, appreciate it, but again, I can't let that go to my head, can't take that personal, you know. I think of the Jim Brown little quote where he spoke on like shit. He was like, I know I was a Hall of Fame. Jim Brown was one of the old running backs in the NFL, but he was like, I knew I was a Hall of Famer before the NFL gave me one of those yellow jackets, because they give you a yellow jacket for being a Hall of Fame. But anyway, he's like, bro, I didn't need the NFL, or more like that. He's like, I didn't need the NFL to let me know that I'm a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew what time it was. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. In that sense of it. Not from a cocky aspect, but a confident. You know what I'm saying? Because again, that's something that you have to find a balance within. Because you definitely don't want to lack. Yeah, you are humble in that sense of it, but you definitely want to be confident. You know what I'm saying? In what you do and how you do it. And confidence is what builds our connection with our intuition, dealing with our magic and all kind of little aspects. Quote unquote magic. But again, dealing with our inner subconscious and how things manifest within our reality. Moss agate is good for midwife and then good for the feminine energy as well. Moss agate good for connection with the Devic kingdom, and it's also great for the flow of abundance and prosperity. Great for connecting, like, bro, when I work with moss agate, bro, like I'm talking to all the trees and all like the, because again, those are the organic aspects of this hologram. Still a hologram nonetheless, just like this bodysuit is a hologram. I have a soul essence that is, again, of that primordial triple darkness, or that no thing that goes deeper than just this it's the holographic bodysuit that I'm working with. I've worked with tree agate a little bit, if that's what you're asking. And moss agate, yeah, I definitely work with moss agate. And again, like when I say connecting with the Devic Kingdom, I did a video about fairy crosses and but also like connecting with the Twa people. The Twa people was like these little, or they are, because they're still living. I think it's in Africa. As I say Africa, there's not to be, oh yeah, back to Africa shit. Like, don't get lost in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool to know your ancestral, lineages. But again, your ancestral lineages is also something that's connected to this holographic, you know, reality in this earthly plane. You don't want to get too connected in it, because if you too like, oh yeah, my my so and so was an Indian and was a, you know, this type of native and that type, and you just so into the human aspect of your being. Well, guess what? Since the universe is like, well, hey, since your inner guidance or your inner self is like, hey, since you love all this human shit so much, why don't you come back down here and have another go at it? To each his own, you know. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I had a Doctor Voodoo, not Doctor Voodoo. He's a Sorcerer Supreme like Doctor Strange, but well, it could be Doctor Voodoo, but it's from the Marvel comics, and it was a comic in particular where he was he was getting that work handed to him, basically getting his ass whipped due to just simply not being confident in his own magic. Like he had his confidence taken away, and that just disrupted the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And hence again back to that video I did on the sacral chakra connection and moving with that energy as well. But you know, yeah, uh, the confidence is key. You know what I'm saying? Very key. And it's about, constantly building it up within yourselves. And again, yeah, you could use these little tools and stuff like that. But at some point, you know what I'm saying, you got to be able to make sure it's vibrating from your inner being, because you're a walking crystal. It got to be resonating within your being very strongly. Because again, like, well, working with crystals is just also, too, like, well, I work with them in a sense of just, enjoying their company almost like like a person in essence. Liking to work with them, but again, understanding that working with these crystals does not change everything. Like, oh, I got a piece of pyrite, now I'm confident forever. Like, nah, it'll help boost confidence, help boost that childlike essence. You know what I'm saying? But uh you got to use it to implement it fully within your within your subconscious realm and within your being. And again, balancing chakras is always in essence of work. It's something that always something you're dealing with. It's not like no one, like, bam, and then now I don't have to work on my chakras ever again. It's a constant growth, a constant work. But not, when I say work, not nothing to look at as it's hard or impossible, none of that. Again, it's normal. Like synchronicity is normal. Having an open pineal organ is normal. And I say pineal organ, you gotta check out Layala Africa. Layala Africa speaks on, how the pineal, what they call gland, is really an organ, and they just want to call it a gland so you could think it's less of importance, but it's an organ because it not only secretes a substance, but it creates the substance that it secretes, which makes it an organ. But that's all that to me. But that useful knowledge while in this again while in this holographic universe. It's good to that may be helpful. But that's basically it, y'all. Again, Venus and Scorpio, how deep is your love? That's that aspect. How deep is your love in certain areas? And again, being more magnetic, might find ourselves being more magnetic about certain aspects of what we love, but also again Scorpio energy deals with forcefulness as well. You know what I'm saying? Forcefulness and being intense. So you want to be aware of being too intense or too forceful with certain aspects of love or attraction or relationships. You know, also with the way we work with arts, the way we express ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's maybe bringing up an aspect of showing us how we too determined in one area. You know what I'm saying? Or it may not be determined or focused enough in a certain area. But uh, and again, in the overall theme is just making sure we're not lying to ourselves and others. Because again, the negative aspect of Mercury is dealing with deceit, and Scorpio deals with being very secretive, like keeping things on the hush. Ain't no keeping things on the hush. In that sense of it, all things are coming to the light. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well express it and bring that up to the forefront and tell whatever you gotta tell to somebody, or talk to your inner self and not deny something that's going on inside yourself. But that's basically it, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not hey Key, what's up, Key? Uh I'm not one to give in to all those aspects per se. Again, that's where my subconscious magic come in. Like I be touching all on malachite and all that shit and probably put my hands in my face and my mouth and ain't nothing happen. But again, I'm not telling you to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it is said that certain, you gotta be aware that certain crystals may be quote unquote toxic or whatever the case may be. But I work with them by talking to them myself a lot of times. There's certain information that I do get that, yeah, in some books or whatever, they may be accurate. But there's a lot of things that they're just speaking from their experience. And I like to experience things on my own with crystals and see what's really going on, you know, and not necessarily get all the information from a book, but more so from the crystal. Like, what you say, Pyrite? Again, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is me. Don't be, like your uncle so and so who might be able to fucking drink a certain little liquor combination that most other people can't even stomach. You know what I'm saying? That's for Uncle so and so. But yeah, that may be true. Matter of fact, because a laser pointer actually is a laser pointer because it has a ruby in it. So it's actually a crystal that's actually making it a laser in the first place. You know? But yeah, but I'm out, y'all. I was about to go, but I got some other things to take care of as well. I got some human shit. Got some human shit to go do. You know what I'm saying? But yep. Again, any and all donations greatly appreciated. Donation links are underneath all videos, and I end up putting this one underneath this video after it loads. Uh, Hit the notification button so you could get notified of when I post videos and when I do lives. And also, if you're vibing with the videos, hit the like button so the algorithm of YouTube could stop hiding my videos whenever you search them. Because I watched like within the last 2 years, my videos went from being easily, like, well, my videos would be the first. Because again, like universal frequencies is like no other thing that's that popular that will pop up. But now they got like certain things that now pop up almost before my videos, even if I'm naming something very particular about a video I did or some of that nature. So just that would help. But but peace, y'all. Happy now. Now to vibrate again. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. The only thing that exists is this moment. Not that mind noise telling you about, like, oh, but what if this? What if that? Like how we say, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. If y'all don't understand what a fifth of alcohol. If the word if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. If matter of fact, again, if you had a fifth of alcohol for every if, you'd be drunk. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, again, right now, it's the only thing that exists is the moment. We could tap into our past with relevance to our moment, tapping into our past, you know, because it's relevant to our moment. You know, again, we healing some childhood trauma that's relevant to our moment. You know, because again, we releasing karmic energies, so we gotta tap into that energy in order to move forward. You know what I'm saying? Or be more present in our now, I should say, not necessarily move forward, but to be present in our now. And then also, you know, you tapping into certain future aspects to know what to do in your moment. You know, might be tapped into a little future aspect of, like, again, why I talk about creating my YouTube channel. Like, I tapped into a future aspect of knowing, like, all right, you know, a lot of people are gonna be waking up in their consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and becoming more aware. You know, so let me, you know, right now act upon, you know, having certain healing aspects and learn about certain aspects of dealing with crystals, and, you know, and doing a YouTube channel and speaking on certain aspects right now. But again, now is the only thing that exists. What you're doing right now, whatever you're doing right now, is the only thing that exists in your moment. I don't care if the children gonna be home from school in 5 minutes. The 5 minutes ain't here yet. Right now, they ain't home. So right now, or if you getting off from school, you ain't back at home with your mom and them yet. You now. For all those who may be watching, but yeah, y'all know what it is, man. Peace, love, everybody. I'm out.